Hello, fellow gardeners. Welcome back to Living the Garden Life. As you can see, it did rain a bit earlier this morning, so I thought this is the perfect time to fill out my garden beds with some seeds because we got it prepared a few days ago, but I want to start putting, actually I already started putting some seeds in, but it's not filled out. It's only half of it that I planted items in. There's a wasp. Get out of here. Ooh, it's still backyard problems. Anyway, so we're gonna plant some seeds out. We planted some cool weather crops. I'm gonna continue planting. I'm gonna do some spinach. And what I'm doing is I'm actually testing out dollar store brand. So this is a dollar store brand. And I'm also going to do some carrots. This is the Mackenzie brand. So I'm gonna see which one performs better. Obviously it should be this one, but you never know with these seeds. All of them, even the dollar store brand, is non-GMO, so that's pretty good. But I just want to test them out. I just want to test them out to make a comparison. And also I'm going to plant some sunflower seeds. I'll show you in a moment why. And I know this is not a cool weather crop, but I did see or read that it's okay to plant tomatoes at this time of year. It's late April here in Canada, and just judging by the weather, spring is actually here to stay. I think our last frost date is on May 5th. That's kind of late, but I'm gonna push it. And if these tomatoes don't survive, it's fine. I have a lot more, and yeah, I'm thinking maybe not using seeds for the tomatoes if these ones don't germinate or don't make it if there is a frost, but that's the risk you take. Anyway, you may notice that I have a ruler in my hand, and I'm actually going to use this for measuring because I realize I'm not very good with this whole inches and centimeters and things, and I want to try and do things properly. So yeah, if you have a ruler, this is an old ruler, it's cracked right here, and I'm going to use that for planting. So let's get going. Okay friends, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna plant the sunflower seeds in between some of my crops because it gets really sunny and there are no trees in my backyard except for the evergreen there and the 5 that I planted toward the back fence. So I'm gonna plant some sunflower seeds. They're supposed to grow to 8 feet tall, and that would be so awesome. So 8 feet tall, and hopefully that will cover some of the cooler crops. I'm going to plant in between the Swiss chards and the cabbage. I'm going to get these in ground in between the crops so that they can be covered when these bad boys grow really tall. All right, so let's get planting. Sunflower seeds are up. All right, friends, I'm gonna plant some carrots now. These seeds, again, just like lettuce seeds, are really tiny. What I do is I just pour a little bit into my hands and then I just disperse it. They're very small. You could do 2, 3 at a time, but I am not, I don't have time for that. What I do is I create a small trench. This will be my 1, 2, 3, 4th row, and I'm just gonna distribute them throughout. So this is how I do it. All right, so beside this row of carrots, I'm going to plant more sunflower seeds to cover them up because they don't like too much heat. They don't like too much heat, so I'm gonna plant sunflower seeds on one end, which I did before, and now on the other end to cover it up. I should have probably done it in the middle too, but that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to stick this in the ground to remind me of what I planted. I'll write it up later. Okay, so carrots are right here. Okay. All right, friends, so next up is the spinach. These are to be planted 2.5 centimeters apart for the seeds, and each row is 30 centimeters apart. I'm going to probably do it 15 centimeters apart because I grew these before and it's fine if they're a little bit close together. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and plant this out. I decided to do 2 rows, and instead of 2.5 centimeters, I did like 1.5 to 2 centimeters, and that will just leave more space in this garden bed for other things. Listen, food, they don't mind being together. When they're together, united in this big long bed, they are happy. I just put someone to work. I have my little helper here watering in the seeds. And you got to make sure you water these frequently or they will dry out. Okay, so I have this grow bag. It's like disintegrating from last season. This is actually my 3rd season. Like it's in rough shape. So I use this piece of wood to prop it up on the side. I got to get another piece here. I have 3 of these bins as well. So the soil in these 2 bins, they're a little bit harder. I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of garden soil. That will be better for the tomatoes. And yeah, I'm gonna plant tomatoes in that bag and maybe one over here. Over here needs a bit of cleanup, but I'm going to do that later on. But I just want to get these seeds in the ground because it's just like it's so much work, but I want to get them in the ground. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put tomatoes in this bag and take it from there. I'm just going to put like 3 sets of tomatoes in here. They actually have strong root systems, so I'll probably just do 2. I changed my mind. I'm going to plant the tomatoes in these pots. The reason I changed my mind is because I realized it's just too shallow. They have like really strong roots. So, my goodness, I'm so hot right now. All right, so 2 seeds in each container, 1, 2, and then you thin them out. I think that was 2, I'm not too sure, I'll put an extra 1. So by putting this down, it'll keep it more moist. All right, friends, that's it for me. Happy planting. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.